The United States is closer to ending the conflict in Ukraine than it has ever been, U.S. President Donald Trump said at the White House on Monday. I think we are closer than ever right now to bringing the Ukrainian conflict to an end, Trump said. Earlier, the Axios outlet reported that on Monday evening, U.S. time, Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, and the U.S. president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, would have dinner with Volodymyr Zelensky. During the dinner, Trump is expected to join them by phone.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stated that USSR committed a betrayal and a colossal mistake when it decided to withdraw its troops from the GDR. Lavrov said that after the withdrawal of the troops, the authorities of the FRG took control of all the territories of the former GDR like conquerors, and all political figures were removed from the way. The reunification of Germany was an absorption, not a unification, Lavrov said.
Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán said that the confiscation of frozen Russian assets is almost inevitable, as Brussels may change the rules and make decisions by a qualified majority. In an interview with the Patriota outlet, he warned that if Budapest's position is ignored, Hungary will immediately take legal action against the European Union's decision. The Hungarian Prime Minister recalled that last week the EU changed the procedure for freezing Russia's assets. Initially, unanimity was required, but after failure in Brussels, the rule was legally changed, and now a two-thirds majority of votes is sufficient. Orbán is convinced that Moscow would inevitably win such a case in court. It is only a matter of time. In his view, if that happens, Belgium's economy, where nearly all the frozen assets are held in depositories, would collapse.
American entrepreneur and billionaire Elon Musk has become the first person in the world whose fortune has exceeded $600 billion, Forbes magazine reported. The publication links the rapid growth of his wealth to a reassessment of the market value of SpaceX, a company specializing in space exploration technologies. After a tender offer, the company's valuation rose from $400 billion in August to $800 billion in December. At the same time, Musk's personal fortune, he owns more than 40% of SpaceX's shares, increased by $168 billion over these months. As of December 15th, his net worth was estimated at $677 billion. Notably, the previous record for the fastest growth in personal wealth also belonged to Musk. In October, he became the first person in the world whose fortune exceeded $500 billion. The UK's Chief of the Defence Staff, Air Chief Marshal Richard Knighton, has called on the sons and daughters of the kingdom to be ready for war with Russia, Sky News reports. According to him, there is a risk of a Russian attack on the United Kingdom. The military leader believes that the civilian population must explain to families and households how to prepare for a whole range of real physical threats. The situation is more dangerous than I have ever known it in my career, Knighton said. He stressed that not only strengthening the UK armed forces is required, but also a whole-of-nation response. The Marshal proposed expanding the country's defence industrial complex and preparing society and infrastructure for a potential conflict.
The United States carried out strikes on 3 vessels allegedly transporting drugs in international waters of the Pacific Ocean, killing 8 people. This was stated by the U.S. Armed Forces Southern Command. On the orders of Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, the Joint Task Force Southern Spear carried out strikes on vessels belonging to terrorist organizations. 8 male narco-terrorists were killed, the Pentagon said in a statement. The Department of Defense specified that intelligence confirmed the killed individuals' involvement in drug trafficking to the United States.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stated that German Chancellor Friedrich Merz had made a number of remarks that constitute an absolute manifestation of Nazi and racist ideology. The head of Russia's foreign ministry said this in an interview with the media corporation Voice of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Mr. Friedrich Merz has allowed himself numerous statements that are the purest expression of racism and Nazism, Lavrov emphasized, commenting on the German Chancellor's words that Israel had done all the dirty work for Europeans by striking Iran. According to the minister, such ideas clearly reflect revanchism and misanthropy. The remarks concerning the 12-day conflict between Israel and Iran, Lavrov believes, exposed old habits and genes inherited by Merz from his ancestors. This contempt, arrogance, and the sense of being, I am not afraid to say, a representative of a special race manifested itself both in the quoted phrase and in many of his statements about Germany's future image, the Russian foreign minister concluded.
They have already lost that territory. To be honest, the territory is gone, the U.S. leader said.